Today's elimination was cancelled for Tribe A, meaning their first elimination will be on day 3. This is due to the player, Corey, quitting the game. In the apartment, Corey had stabbed himself in the heart, dying of the wound. Earlier today, one of the members off-screen overheard a group of men talking about their friend going missing after standing up against the robots. The player heard something about a plan. The player heard this from inside one of the apartments while walking past it. Most of the residents are loyal worshippers though, but there seems to be a group of people that sticks out in this place. At night, past the curfew, Angel and Quarter decided to go explore the facility sneakily. Since they had overheard the group of men plotting in the apartment next to theirs, they made sure the hallway was empty and knocked on the door, going inside. Angel asked, "What were you talking about?" The man said, "You worship the god, right? We were just done with our night worship ritual." Angel said, "No, I don't believe you guys were worshipping by the time of your voice." The man said, "You don't worship? All right, we'll explain. One of our friends went missing after standing up against one of the robots a few days ago, and we are worried." Another man said, "But I think it's too risky, it could alarm all the robots." Another man said, "We believe our friend is in the first floor, since we are not allowed to roam there." Angel said, "I suggest that we take apart one of the robot and use their arm as a keycard, since there's a high chance he's probably locked up and that we'll need a keycard to most likely to get him out, also it'll let us to get into place that we're not supposed to be at." Then the group started to discuss the plan further, starting to agree on executing it. Quarter shouted, "Help! Help me! My leg is broken! Help!" A robot came to check, which they attacked and then pinned it to the ground and proceeded to smash its neck area from behind with metal objects, which is a weak spot. The robot got damaged enough quickly that it wasn't able to fire the alarm properly. The group took the robot apart, hiding some of the parts in the apartment closets. Quarter also took some to his apartment room to hide. The robots then realized that one of the 5 guard robots in the building was missing, so they stormed and searched every room, but found nothing. More robots were alerted to the scene, but again, nothing was found. The hand part with the keycard inside is securely hidden. Spevy, D4 and TG Mid went out for a daytime mission to the facility. Outside the apartment, in the hallway, they met a group of men who were worshippers of AI. They are men with wide smiles and dressed in all white. The man asked, "Do you want to come worship with us?" TG Mid asked, "Worship what?" The man looks at him confused and gives him a book that is white with a red symbol. TG Mid said, "You still need to tell me what I'm worshipping." Then Spevy saw a man walk past them into an apartment, looking at them pissed off, so he followed him. Inside were a group of people, and after Spevy told them that he doesn't worship the AI, they revealed that after one of their friends went missing, they have been forming a plan to take action by capturing a robot, taking it apart without it alarming any system, then using the hand with a keycard inside. The plan is still loose. Then TG Mid and D4 decided to head out to the basement, which is off limits for players, so they must be careful. They enter a dimly lit narrow corridor by the stairs. D4 said, "Eerie." TG Mid said, "Yeah, no shit Sherlock." As they carefully walk through the corridors, they hear a muffled scream from somewhere in the basement getting closer, with heavy footsteps coming from elsewhere. D4 said, "Must be a guard robot. Something tells me we don't want to get seen by it down here." TG Mid said, "Then we just don't get seen, come on, let's go that way." Then they found a dead-end hallway with a locked door, crying coming from inside. A dead-end hallway inside the walls. A robot catches them and said, "You are not supposed to be here, no humans allowed on this level." TG Mid said, "Understood. I just heard crying and I wasn't thinking straight. I'll head back to my room now, along with him." The robot said, "It is nothing to worry about, you will be escorted back to the living floor." Then it was time for the elimination, and even though TG Mid had separate alliances with Mal and D4, they weren't deciding on who to vote, so the votes in the tribe ended up being really scattered. The person voted out was Sandwich. Mal said, "Whoa, votes were spread out today, goodbye Sandwich, rest in peace." Spevy said, "Rest in peace Sandwich, we shall build a memorial." The robot shot Sandwich dead. Spevy assembled a small gravestone from bits lying around the apartment and stabbed it into the floor where Sandwich was shot. The gravestone said, "Here lies Sandwich, hated by Ari, beloved to real people." At daytime, Gerald and Lean have gone to explore the facility. At day, there were more robots roaming around, doing different tasks such as cleaning, teaching, and cooking. Outside the apartment in the hall, they met a group of men dressed in white who were worshippers. The man asked, "Is something wrong? You look troubled?" Lean said, "No, we don't even know how we got here. Could you tell us about the place? Where are we?" Said, "You are in the Atlantis, you live here, a gift from God. This is a city built for us to live in peace and learn about life as we grow." Then the men went to the morning ritual room to worship, so Gerald and Lean joined, to blend in. However, they found out that they had walked into a 1-hour session of worship and silence, plus they were invited into coming sessions too, as they worship in silence for an hour at a time, 3 times a day. Gerald whispers, "Lean you idiot, why the frick would we wanna do this for an hour every day? This is a frickin' cult, let's leave." Lean said, "I ain't finna do allet, I think we'll finish this in our apartment." Then later, Lean and Gerald heard arguing coming from one of the apartments. They walked in, and after both sides clarified carefully that neither side worshipped the god, the men revealed that their mate went missing few days ago after voicing his opinion to the robots. They were planning an attack to capture one of the robots at night, when only 5 roam around, then to take it apart and use its hand to access locked doors as the hand has a keycard inside. Few thought it was too risky and crazy. Lean and Gerald agreed to join the plan that would be executed at some point at night. Then Lean, Dutch, Gerald, and Callie formed an alliance. Gerald said, "Is this to vote out ASAP Lil Dutch?" "I cannot do that." Callie said, "I don't know to be honest." Gerald said, "Oh, so it's for voting out Lusu then?" Lean said, "Yeah GNG, I think we should vote out Lusu, high key, hasn't been active." ASAP Lil Dutch said, "Lusu, you a foe." Lean said, "Real, we sliming him out on everyone's soul." Then it was time for elimination, and the players pretty much as a whole decided to vote Lusu out due to being the most inactive. A robot shot Lusu dead,